Thanks for staying with us. So betrayal is one thing we know about. That's one of the characters people use on others, and we sort of understand that it happens in life. But when it happens to somebody close to you, it happens to you to somebody close to you, is a whole different another conversation. The conversation we're going to talk today is going to be referencing Empress Njamah's experience based on the story. I'll let Nima establish the story, but as usual, we don't like talking about people's stories because we don't have all the full picture. But the picture we'd like to focus on is the part of betrayal, the fact of where your private, intimate information you have on others is exposed because there's a fallout. These are things that have been happening a lot of times recently with relationships, siblings, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But let me let Nima establish what happened with Empress, then we'll pack it for a second.
In December last year, I think 15th of December last year, Empress posted a video of a ring on her finger and said she's off the market. And everybody was glad for her because, you know, we've been looking out for the wedding bells for her. And then later she came out and did a live and said it was a ruse that Josh Wade, her fiancé, her supposed fiancé, made her wear that ring, forced her to do the video and posted it on Instagram. And then she also put an alert that, you know, he's threatening to post her nude videos that he had taken of her in her own house, that she was under arrest in her house and being threatened in her own house. And sadly, I don't know the kind of meat the man get for mind, he posted the videos. He created a WhatsApp group, invited people to the group, and started posting those videos. So he blackmailed her, and clearly there's a crime around it, but I don't know.
According to the story, she was asking for $450,000. And the fact that these are, see, now let us bring the picture to a situation where you are having a relationship with an adult, two adults, and you share intimate information.
Exactly.
Private information. So I have private information about you. And then something happens, we fall out. Today's times, once we fall out, all that data I have on you, I put it on social media. For the world to judge.
I start to threaten you to get money like he did. I can use them, you know, to threaten you to stay. I can use all sorts of things to coerce you to do things that you don't want to do. And that was what he did. And then when she didn't fall through, he threatened. He first of all posted and said, "You've not seen anything." And then he went ahead and carried out a threat, you know, and posted her nudes. And she, obviously, Nigerians called him out. Women started to stand up for her, saying, "This is blackmail." Nigerian government started tagging the PRO of all the police zones, and that got the attention he needed. And I hope that he's been arrested, but I don't have that.
Would we call it, let me come to you, man. Would we call this immaturity? Would we call this being vindictive? Would you call what's the word we can use to describe these situations? Because some people feel justified that the world must hear. This woman hurt me. This man hurt me. I must tell. Because I mean, many of you know of an experience where I fell out with a friend, and things I spoke to her in private, she sent in a message and sent it to all the ladies, sent it to everybody, grandmother, great-grandmother. And I'm thinking, we had a private conversation. And so, and these are, so that kind of person, I pick race. Someone cannot be my friend because God forbid something happens in future. I will see it in Guardian front page.
Even worse things that are confidential.
So, when people feel like, I have this information about you, what's that thing? Why would you come out and show it out? What exactly are people thinking? How do you describe it?
So there are different types of people. There are some people who do it out of immaturity. These are childlike people with childish behavior, throwing childish tantrums. But, you know, these are behaviors you hope that someone has learned by the time they're 8 or 9, you know. You don't carry it into adulthood. But this particular story, this is a vindictive person because even the way she tells the story, he approached her at a point where she was vulnerable. She had lost a friend and she was mourning. And I know people like that. I even have a friend who I'm sure, and I'm sure now when we discuss it, found herself in a relationship with someone who met her when she was quite vulnerable. And I think that there are people like that. They're just sitting down, watching out and waiting for when to, they say the devil, waiting to devour you. And that's what this man did. Because at what point are you sharing your, you know, being intimate with someone, loving the person, getting to know the person, that then you have time to take their pictures and put aside for such a time where you would use it. So it's premeditated. You had waited for the time. You know, for a lot of people in marriages, in intimate relationships, who is keeping any picture? Except, you know, you want to use it someday to embarrass the person. And for this person, his own justification or whatever high he gets is the fact that I have embarrassed you. And another thing was why it had been, it's something that people go to is they feel that it will break that person. People would hate on the person. But unfortunately for this person, he did it at the wrong time, because we now understand that the person that you put out there is the victim. You are the criminal. Yes. You're the blackmailer. And no longer with Nigerians or people are going to consume this and blame the person anymore. Right. I hope that this person is caught and jailed and made a huge example of.
Exactly.
But also, let us, I don't know how to say be careful. How are you careful with people that you love? Because this could have been done by, you know, this is a person that you love. Yeah. And you're supposed to be your most vulnerable self with these people.
That's what I was going to come to talk about, because when we were dating, we didn't have that social media opportunity of taking pictures and sending nudes, you know. Then you are just either call the person, you text message. But today's times of dating are different. They're having video calls. Some of them are doing a lot of intimate things via videos. Yeah. They're recording each other. There's stuff you're doing now that we couldn't do while we were dating. And a lot of young people are in that state right now. I mean, these are still older people. I'm talking about young people are young in their 20s, mid-20s. They're dating and they're exposing themselves a lot to their significant others. Now, we're in a time where if I fall out with you, I have so much information on you that I can really, really get you dirty. So how do we get some kind of responsibility in this?
So I'll start by saying that young people, relationships should be about trust. You know, if I'm dating you, I must have a level of trust and love with you or for you. So it will mean some people will now start getting into relationship suspicious. But I think we're at that stage where we should be. You must, before you open up your heart or your body to someone, before you open up your heart and your body, you must be able to verify the person's character. And there are little things. Because we're so focused on the guy looks good, he can afford to take care of me, he has money, he's loving, he spoils me. But is he a kind person? Because I can be generous and not be kind. Like, I can be a very generous person. I can give you gifts, but I'm not kind. Because if a kindness will mean that I have your interest at heart, no matter how hurt I am, I would protect your interest. You have broken my heart, but I'll protect you. So I feel that many times there is a lot of immaturity, there is a lot of unkindness, and there is a lot of wickedness. And wickedness displays itself in small areas. Some people, you see the way they relate with people beneath them. You know that they will do the same to you. Yoruba proverb says that when you see the way your person you're dating treats people beneath him, or treats people beneath her, or the way he relates with other people, you should know that don't feel you're special, that it will not happen to you. It will. So for young people, don't expose yourself unnecessarily until you are very sure that this person has earned your trust and you can be sure they have your interest. I would also say that because social media has nothing, even if the person does not protect you, they might want to fix their phone and the person that is fixing the phone sees things they should not see. Don't put your nudes on someone's phone for any reason.
Sometimes these news are harvested without your knowledge.
Let me I have to go on a break, because there was a time when they wanted to legislate on social media. All of us, I know, they want to gag the press, they want to gag us. But now we're seeing a lot of these things. How do we hold people like this accountable? It's social media.
This is blackmail.
No, but I'm saying
the person should be prosecuted for blackmail.
But yeah, the vehicle is internet. The vehicle they're using.
Media,
so it's still social media. So the point is, how do we hold this accountable? When we come back on the break, in today's times, there's lots of things called sex videos. I mean, back then, we used to hear it from, was it this celebrity that had sex with Kim Kardashian in the early days with you know, and then we had the few sex videos. But then we had Tiwa from our own in Nigeria, and you know, we hear these things far away. But then when it's getting closer where regular folks are now being blackmailed. Now, Njamah is also a celebrity. I wouldn't say she's a regular folk, but the fact that people have private sex videos or people allow somebody else to record them in their nudity, that in itself, how do you know who you can give that authority to have your nude pictures. Some people are married.
Call me old school. I don't have
Husband
nobody
and
has
wife.
authority to,
Some-
even if
but
you're my
you see,
husband.
that's if you're dating. But husbands and wives sometimes have these videos within themselves. 5 years down the line, they fall out. Husband is blackmailing, or wife
Don't
is
try
blackmailing
it.
something.
End of
I
story.
was
happens.
wearing
Don't try
cincha
it.
once, and my husband took a picture, and he was admiring and saying, I said, if you don't delete that picture right now, you will fall. That's my
But
husband.
you can't define people's fantasies.
No,
You cannot. You
yeah,
can't.
that's my
So
business.
you can't
See,
define people's fantasies for them.
See, one of the things-
You have the full view in the house. What are you picturing?
No, but there's a fantasy. I could be at work and I want to have my wife's
get
picture.
that part.
Hang it there. I could be at work and I want to see my wife's picture. This is
See,
what-
Muriel, that's the risk. We play too much. Okay, let's assume he took a picture and then he wants to keep it. Then he keeps his phone and then somebody else sees it.
Who will see? If we have this code, it's code, the code there. What is that?
Which
It's
code?
passworded.
More
now.
password, though.
One moment you can just be careless. These things, you don't play with these things.
and
Do you know, I came up to work once and talked about my son going on Facebook Live while I was sleeping and on the phone in my room.
Yeah.
I almost went mad. These things, I can only imagine. So I don't know how people receive this news. Whatever is exciting you.
Let's accept that, Nima, you're
Short
different.
lived.
Let's accept.
There's
There are
nothing-
people, you're different. So you're different.
Exactly.
There are people who are adults, who patronize different adult
That have
content.
different
They have
values.
different values and they have
don't know
different
about
exposures.
values.
And they-
Content,
values.
everybody has
Hey,
different
what of the
values.
subject
shape who you are.
Listen, so the point is that people are different.
Yes.
And your fantasies can go as wild as you choose because you're a
Yes.
private adult. But when that happens, how do we hold you responsible?
No,
Or what you share,
that's
what
why
you don't share.
Before we went on the break, I mentioned being kind, being considerate, because sometimes you can. People can really hurt you and you feel like I need to just do something back. But then you now look at yourself and say, this is not who I am. I'm a good person. So that's good values that you have. Shape who you are long term. So that's aside. But some people do have fantasies. I have a friend, she's single, she's mature, and she sends, what they call it, sexts.
Yes.
Yes, so she sends pictures, and I told her, I said, babe, always at least cut off your head, so they cannot say it is your body.
Yeah.
So what she does is, but she's like, he has, because she's also had a blackmail issue, and she has a tattoo, and so she was like, people know it is my tattoo. I said, but they did not see your head, thankfully. So she had the wisdom that when she was sending those pictures of herself to her boyfriend, who is in the diaspora, so obviously the only way they can enjoy themselves, quote and unquote, is virtual.
Yeah.
So she sends pictures, the same picture, I want you to be thinking of me. Let me just do something naughty for him right now. So you send that picture, remove your head, blur your face. There are little things you would do because you're mature enough to know you need to protect yourself. Some people have crazy fantasies, but you would also know that in your crazy fantasy is reality. Then there's a school of thought that I've always had. I don't know where I got it from. And I'm living a life that I couldn't have even imagined as at 20 years ago. But I knew from my first relationship that I did not want to date this kind of guy. So that when I now become the president or become governor,
You
they'll
now
now say,
look
you
at-
say, this person, I've seen her naked. I've done this with her. I don't know how that came to my head, but I just feel like there's a consciousness I'm going to do something big in my life. So I don't want anybody to now be able to point, you are an important person. Everybody's on an important journey. You don't want somebody to be able to release a picture of you that will compromise the good journey you are on.
Okay, I hear that.
And
I hear that.
I agree.
I'll come to you, Mariam,
Okay.
because sometimes
But-
I want us to put this in proper perspective. So let me hear you first before I say
Yes.
this.
So I hear you, well done, and that's good. And that is what everybody wants, you know. You have foresight to protect yourself and carry yourself in a certain way. Whether we like it or not, two consenting adults
Yes.
doing things that two consenting adults in a loving, intimate relationship do in the privacy of their homes is supposed to be kept private, simple
100%.
and short. Anyone that brings it out, that person is disrespectful, that person is a wicked person, that person is a criminal, simple and short. We say to people, oh, don't put your nudes out there, don't do whatever. Good, that's good advice. But many people that find themselves in this situation, and not just people just randomly throwing themselves out, these are, why is it a betrayal? Because these are trusted people.
Yeah.
That's what happens. A trusted person. At what point are you supposed to be sitting with your most trusted person and thinking, this person is about to scam me, this person is about to defraud me,
Vulnerable with
my
them.
husband is about to put all our nudes out.
Yeah.
At what point do you start thinking about that? At the point that that thought comes to you, it's too late.
Yeah.
At the point that you start suspecting your most trusted and most loved person to do such a thing to you, it's already too late.
I would not go.
So what I'm going to say is, call out the criminals.
Yeah.
I agree.
anybody
Exposing
that takes out, anybody that exposes something that was done between two consenting adults in the privacy of their home for their own consumption, that person should be punished. Simple and short. That person is the criminal.
You shouldn't shame the subject.
We know
Shame
the
the
crime
victim.
clearly. We know
Crime
when
is
it is a crime. It's clear. But we can be careless. The person can truly, truly love you, and the phone gets out of his hand, gets in the wrong hand. How about protecting yourself against such things?
Yes, that's where we
I
started
know
from.
the crime. We will deal with it. The blackmail, the police are on it. When my son did that video, he was playing. He didn't even know. He thought he was on a camera. When I take a picture of you, he didn't know. Somebody sent me, take it down, take it down, take it down 3 times. I didn't even know what they were talking about.
But also that makes sense because you were sleeping.
Yes.
What could you have done to protect yourself?
Hey, wait.
Sleeping.
So,
By
I
sleeping.
mean carefulness. Now I know better to have my phones open with my children.
Carefulness is one
I'm
thing.
saying
There are some people that like...
we are seeing these things every day, and some Nigerians are still sitting down saying,
Nima,
what could I have done?
carefulness, you are absolutely right. But there's something called... Have you ever heard of the word fantasy? So somebody who likes to be tied... Listen, somebody likes to be tied. Somebody likes to be whipped. And these are adult things that people do and choose. So you might not understand it, but others do. Others say, you know what, but is that betrayal of trust? The fact that we have become so irresponsible and feel that because I have the power of this social media, and I'm upset with you, I can throw it out. And I feel
I know you will
so
be embarrassed.
we must begin to call them out more.
Bad publicity is giving publicity. The person might do it knowing it's bad and say, okay, let me just gain the numbers first. And that's how some people start their blogs.
Now, those are people that...
See, this regulation of social media is extremely important. Put your name, house address, your grandmother's son name,
if you have
on
the
whatever
test.
blog you have. Let me know when I see my picture on your blog to know how to cut off the head of your ancestors as well.
So I think
kind
that
of rubbish is that?
it's also important to note that for many people that are fallen victims of blackmail, they've had to pay to protect their name. You know, many people have paid to protect their own
And done
interests.
worse things.
And
be coerced to do worse
And some
things.
people, like the way Tiwa said, that Tiwa didn't want to pay for whatever reason, and she said, I'll post it. Yeah. She came out and announced it. So it's a case of when you now do that, we don't see the criminal... we don't see it going to court often. We don't see somebody being tried for blackmail. And we need to start making those examples. And it's because some people just feel like, let's just let it go. Let it go. We need to see more.
We don't put it out there.
The reason why, because we concentrate too much on shaming the victim. We're not concentrating on the
crime.
Criminal
Let me take this call from Oyin. Then I think YK has a message, and I think somebody should read it. Oyin, are you there? You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'd like to say something about this. I understand the fact that we are adults and we can do whatever we want to do in our rooms and everything, not to talk about anything for the person. But the truth is, we're supposed to understand that people can change. You might be saying, okay, somebody said, if you are kind, if you are good, we can't predict what the person is.
Kindness too can be
trying to be vindictive. You keep saying, okay, we are good. When I was good, when I was young, I was not like this and all of that. But even right now, I know some students that I lecture in school, they would not video anybody. They would not allow themselves to be videoed. You can't predict what a person will do to you.
Exactly.
We're supposed to be accountable to ourselves, our lives. Okay, what's the point of the videoing that you're videoing? You have art, and you have eye in your head, for crying out loud. I cannot think of what somebody can do to me. Even my husband. I have students that today, I lecture them and all of that. They would not, even when they're in law, because they are responsible. You train yourself and retrain yourself. They taught us more when we were young. We grew up to understand that this is not allowed. I'm not supposed to do this. What would you be doing? Some parts that should not be. You are putting yourself down and everything. I'm not putting Empress on the job, but she put herself in that position. And then I'm happy that she's supposed to. She should know. Nobody should feel like feeling bad about anything. She put herself in that.
Thank you, Oyin. And see, I remember the video of a woman who's the guy. She was naked. If you remember, some years back, to fair-skinned lady, some guy put her nude pictures out there. She's the mother of kids, and she felt really embarrassed. I can't remember the name of the person.
Okay, one
married woman like that. That one happened. Then we had somebody who wanted to blackmail Salawa Beni.
He was arrested.
He was arrested, yes. So the point is that these videos will be out there. Should we now focus more on the people who are exposing and leave these women who are naked? Because the more we talk about them, we shame them more, And it makes you look as if they are the ones
Mariah,
that
do you know
actually
what confuses me
the criminals here.
when we talk about this is, what are we shaming the victims for? For daring to have an intimate relationship at all, or for being caught?
Aha.
What are we really shaming them for?
For having a high sexual desire or something.
For just having a sexual life.
Yeah.
Are we saying that do not have this, you know, that the fact that you even had this sexual life, okay, have it. You know,
Don't let us know about
sense
it.
of morality, yes. Is what is the problem? Is it the fact that this person should not even be having sexual relations at all?
Don't enable your abuser.
Good, because
For enabling
what
them.
would
You don't know he's an
say?
abuser.
No, exactly.
No, for enabling anybody.
Good.
enable
So here I'm going somewhere.
it out there.
What do I say to a wife who this was done to by a husband? What do I say to someone? No, and as we know, in our present age, not everybody ends up getting married. Some people are partners, some people are in long-term relationships. What do we say to people who did not put themselves in such a way that they were supposed to be videoed or be embarrassed or blackmailed like that, but somehow that person has found a way to do that? What do we say to our young girls finding her way and making her mistakes, and then there's someone who's just waiting to take pictures? Meanwhile,
advantage.
you know, you mentioned how when we were growing up, we didn't have social media. Yes, we remember we had some boys who would just say anything, where they used to say to girls, be careful, because there are some boys that would lie even.
Yes.
And that lie would stick. And it has evolved to what we have now, where someone would even take you when you're not participating in it. So you're not participating in that video, but the person has caught you. So what are we shaming people exactly for? Is it for being, because for me, it sounds like we're shaming people for being caught. Whatever you do, do not be caught. That's what we're saying.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a few more messages and YK's on. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Taking from phone calls and messages. Let me take this from one of our viewers. She says, my partner and I sometimes take pictures. I wouldn't even regret it if it came to light. Meanwhile, I hear that these things are never entirely wiped out. A whiz kid with a phone can bring deleted messages out. So if you're ashamed, don't do it. That's somebody who is saying that she and her partner, who and her spouse and her husband, they share videos, they share pictures together.
Don't add, say, don't do it now.
Yeah, but she can do it.
She doesn't
Because
mind
she doesn't.
being out.
So you as a person, you must be willing that if it gets out, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it. Because this has happened. And if you are not ashamed, when the backlash comes, society therefore shouldn't judge you, because even you that you own the body, it doesn't faze you. Let's take a few more messages. Do you have any more?
Okay, YK says, ladies, I want to speak to the hot people that feel entitled and justified to release videos. As someone who has been seriously hurt before, I now realize the hurt goes away. Be patient. Don't do it because you will regret it. With time, hurt goes away. Time is a healer.
Let me take a Larry Waju. Good morning, Larry Waju. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
You're live.
Happy
Go ahead, please.
ladies.
Happy New Year.
I'm here. You know, what I will say about this is in two ways, as soon as Maria has already said. Number one, if both parties are married, the man is married, the wife is, the other lady is married, and they are having an affair. If one of them recorded it, the other one should know that there's a danger on the mountain. Why are they recording it? That is number one. And if they put it on the social media, if something fall out between two of them, and they put it on the social media, it's hard for one of the, maybe the husband or the wife to see that, oh, my wife is cheating, or my husband is cheating. You know, that helps that family to sort themselves out. Then number two, boyfriend and girlfriend, boy and girl, they are not married. They are just boyfriend and girlfriend. And if they decided to record, they should know that they are in danger of themselves. They agreed to record it, and they put it. They both agree, and they put it out here. Who I will blame in this? I will not blame who put it out, or I will not blame who agreed to be recorded. Two of them, they are at fault, because by right they know that they are in danger of recording themselves. That's what I will say.
Okay, let me take this tweet. Metallic Hugh says, a lady from a prominent family in Benin City committed suicide last year from blackmail arising from video pictures that put her and her family in bad light, even after paying above 50 million. to the blackmailer. Ekanem says, the man's phone needs to be cloned honestly. Aside her doing it for love, does she know she was being filmed? That man needs to be arrested. Who knows how many people he has done this to? He needs to be stopped immediately.
Thank you for that message, Nima, because for the sake of a woman that killed herself because of this, that's why these conversations are important.
Very important.
Because we need to let people understand that if somebody shows your nudity, it's not the end of your life. Yes, you might be embarrassed you because it happened in the privacy of your home, but it shouldn't be the end of your life. It is your nudity. It's not like somebody has destroyed your life. And society must, it's not something we like. Nobody wants their nudity out there. Absolutely.
Without their
but if it does happen, it's not enough license for you to kill yourself. And we must make it such that people must be comfortable. Because it happened to Kim Kardashian. It happened to what's the other lady in Nigeria, Tiwa Savage, and they're still alive. So I know you're not a Kim Kardashian, you're not a Tiwa Savage, certainly. But you must understand that you still have a life. People would move on.
Another story will break.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Another story would break.
There was a girl talk about that they showed her nudity. They beat her up. I can't remember what it was. That she was naked. They beat her from the inside. They pushed her out. I think family and friends.
See how I was struggling to
remember. I can't remember.
People will forget. Even those that were there that saw it when it was happening will forget. And I think that we, YK said that time heals. The pain you're feeling right now, the pain that you're feeling, you're heartbroken, or you feel like your nudity has been exposed or your privacy has been breached, the pain will fade over time, and we must be willing to let that, give ourselves the time to heal and not jump the process or feel like our life is over. Challenges happen doesn't mean your life is over. Your heart is broken doesn't mean your life is over. Some men lash out because their heart is actually, they're really, really broken. Like, I've invested my life into this relationship. And so you feel like I must do something back that is equally going to hurt this person. The truth is your life is not over. You will fall in love again. Your relationship will move on.
But you'll be embarrassed by this.
But they are criminals. Mariah, they put that it is their business.
50 million.
They come in, it's their business to come into people's lives at a time when they feel they can. There's a plan. It's like the way we talk about banditry and kidnapping. That's the way. The way we talk about kidnapping and banditry is the way we should talk about blackmailing.
Yes.
People plan how to blackmail you. They set you up. They set people up in order to blackmail them, and such criminals need to be dealt with. The same way we deal with terrorism and banditry is the same way you deal with people that set you up to blackmail you. When you have that evidence, will the police, my question is, will you be able to take evidence that somebody is blackmailing me, asking me to pay so amount of money to the police? What would they do? How can they protect you? Do we have enough police officers willing to protect people that are victims of blackmail? If we have such strong systems, blackmailing will no longer be a profitable business.
And please, when they come to the police, don't say, you too, why you go do this kind? That's not the time.
Let me take this call. Good morning, Addition, are you there?
We will say it.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello, you're live, Additional. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my contribution towards the discussion for today is that, first and foremost, the blackmailer are guilty. And secondly, those that have allowed that video out are also guilty as the same. But the point here to be able to curb this, first and foremost, we have to look at a way of discouraging those who do nude videos of themselves and keep it on their phone. We know that this phone is very easy. It can be stolen, and if it's stolen, somebody else can have access to it. And those people, while doing those things, they can be able to leak it out. So, to me, I would like, if there's a means of first and foremost discourage individuals of us of taking a video nude of ourselves, either with our spouse or with our boyfriends or girlfriends. If that is stopped, nobody will be able to get hold of those things to be able to blackmail anybody.
Okay.
But Mr. Adesina should answer, what if somebody sneakishly did a video? You did not give permission. You were not interested. you were rubbing cream
But
on your
if you're
body.
interested,
No, but you were a woman rubbing. A woman. The only video I've seen of Empress Njamah, she was washing her body.
Yeah, that's one.
She was taking her
I'm
bath.
just-
So what if somebody did a video like that?
That is one.
And
You're
you did
right.
not give
But
consent.
there's one where your husband is in London and you are here and you are sex videoing. There's the sex videoing. It happens. Let us not pretend. It's happening.
Exactly. And I also wanted to say
Well, one second. Let me hear that. Now come to the wrap up.
for those consuming this
Content.
yes, this content abroad, and I think maybe we have it here. If they find some content on your phone, you are in trouble. They lock you up as if you were the person that took the video. Simple. So there was a particular video some years back that was going around, and I think a lot of people had downloaded, and this person said that he got to the airport and his visa was taken away because he had that content, because it was a WhatsApp message that was sent over and over. Don't even consume it. If there's no market to consume it, nobody will think that they should put it on social media for you to take it. I make it a personal decision. I never watch anybody's news, anybody's videos. So if there are more people like me, your market will end. So don't consume it, or else you get in trouble.
Right. Also, if you have somebody blackmailing you with a video of yours in any way, open up about it. Don't enable them. Don't pay them. Don't talk.
Like Salawa did.
Like Salawa
And even
did, like
she did the
Empress
same thing
did.
too. Now Empress
Come out
too did.
about it. Let the authorities know. If you don't want to tell everybody in the world, don't do it. You don't need to go live. Go to the police with that evidence. This is the phone number the person is calling me with, and let them do the needful with that person. Even if the video gets out there, let that person be made a scapegoat of.
Yeah.
And I hope that there will be an amendment on our criminal code to make it maybe like a death sentence on kidnapping, so people will sit up.
We have to wrap up on this, but I mean, aside from this blackmail that we've talked about, the other crimes on social media, catfishing is another one we've not discussed here. It happens a lot abroad, where you create a fake profile to, a love profile, and used to extract money from you, or just, stuff they do. It's really popular.
With your own people.
Yes, I've been catfished before. so many of this has happened, but we need a proper regulation on social media.
We need it too.
When it was initially drawn up, people rejected because we didn't understand it. But now we've experienced it, and we understand there's a need to bring up again this social media regulation and ensure that people who are victims of social media blackmail, catfishing such as this, people are actually, they can get justice.